comment on YouTube, or I can add content. And I think
On YouTube, then you have a
Gmail.
Are we expecting anyone else? Jim?
Jim is in Texas, I believe, waiting for a plane.
And his alternate
do you
is
want
in
to say?
Colorado.
I would say we're not.
Christy, Keith, Biddy, Herb, Mallory, PJ, Paul, and two selectmen.
Password to my email.
And it says in one town employee.
Right, and that position is still
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We just made it. So we can start.
Oh, I do have my YouTube.
We ready to go?
As soon as Paul gets online.
Just had a couple of procedural things I want to take care of before we get rolling.
Before we go on the air?
Well, no, before we go on.
Okay.
They can go on
Yeah, I
here.
don't remember.
A couple of things that came up at the select
I
meeting
thought
last night.
Oh,
Is it
good.
this?
That'd be great.
It's in, it's in.
Okay. Mallory, you're welcome to sit up here with the big kids, you know. There's 2 more
A
chairs.
little intimidating.
I know, but, you know, once you get up here, you might like it. You might want to say, maybe I'll join this group.
Get some
I have
practice.
my old iPod that I keep a lot of stuff on.
I don't see documents uploaded into.
Yeah, we have
I have that with me.
5, I think. The recruitment
Should have come through 8
schema, the advertisement, the town profile, I'm sorry, and the job description.
I had opened up an account through Google Docs, but it didn't go in there. It went through email into Google Docs.
I guess it just showed up into shared with me.
Different. Yeah, mine worked fine going through my email, but and it didn't come through on my other account, my Google Docs account.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the problem I'm having.
Did you get the email from Paul? Or no, Joanne sent it.
From Joanne, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
See
the
which,
the icon?
yeah, where we were.
No, once you get to the docs in your email, I just punched one of the docs, and it took me to the site. And then you just have to sign in if you want to edit.
So the email for this specific group is newportreports@gmail.com. newportnhreports@gmail.com.
Yes.
Okay. At gmail.com.
I haven't figured out how I can't really edit from this.
Should be able to. Oh, edit on that?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to bring up my keyboard, and while I'm in Google Docs.
Oh, that I don't know. Is it a tablet?
It's an iPad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my husband has one, but I
I'm
don't
doing
know
this,
how. All right. So,
I'm not getting-
so So are we more concerned with the ad or the job description at this point?
I would think both.
Okay,
Realistic, the two things that I don't think we're going to recommend to the board, or what we're going to take back to the board is, this is what we recommend for job description, this is what we
Yeah.
recommend,
Okay.
I brought it up.
and this is what we'd like to see for a community profile.
okay. Well, the ad is the quickest to address
Yes.
because it has more, it has less content. So I would suggest we start with the ad.
All right, just the two things that I wanted to do as far
Yes,
as
but go ahead, you
procedure.
start, Herb.
The Board of Selectmen last night mentioned that they would like to see a chairman, and I would assume a co-chair probably to fill in if the chairman wasn't here,
Okay.
just for organizational purposes probably. And what was their second comment? Oh, public comment. While we were in our public forum such as this, they thought that we probably should not limit public input. I suppose it gets out of control, we could, but I don't think we're going to have that issue. Once we get to the interviews and into the in-depth discussion about the interviews, then public participation and would have to be limited, obviously. So.
Okay, so I'm not willing to do that. This is a search committee for a manager. This is not a public free-for-all for everyone's opinion. I'm certainly willing to hold a meeting or have us hold a meeting that is specifically a public open forum to come and look at maybe or give us their thoughts about what they'd like to see in a manager or concerns. But this is, in my opinion, this is a public meeting, but not an open meeting. The public may come, but it's not open.
I think that's kind of what they had in mind. I think they, public input, but not public discussion and argument over specific details.
I'm sorry, I'm not willing to do that. We
You
can
don't
put
want
it
public input?
I'm willing to hold a meeting, one meeting, for public input.
Well, this particular meeting is public.
No, but I mean, we'd advertise it and say, on August 28th, the search committee will be holding an open forum for the community residents to come and give us their input. We could agree on a time, we could set a time limit, not for speaking, but we're going to meet from 6:30 to 8:30, and anyone who has an opinion, concern, question, feel free to come, or send us an email at newportnewhampshirereports@gmail.com. I'm not going to do this work by committee other than our committee.
I just have a problem with a public meeting not being open to public comment. I mean,
Well,
I can see.
we respectfully disagree.
Yes, we do. You guys have any input?
I think she has a good point. I mean, as a public meeting, doesn't look like there's a whole lot of public interest today.
There wasn't last time.
Right.
Jeff was the only citizen that was here.
So, yeah, I think we'll discuss what we have to discuss. And if there is a need for the general public to make comments, then we should schedule a time to do that. Yeah, but I like the idea of keeping those separate.
In 2015, we had that company come, and we had a huge meeting at the Sugar River Community Room and invited all kinds of people and anybody else who wanted to opine. We created that document that you saw.
The vision statement.
The vision statement with the pluses and the minuses, and then the committee took that into consideration as they met and deliberated about the documents, and then of course the rest of it was always non-public because the resumes were coming in or we were discussing a potential candidate. You're right, there's nobody here, there's probably a few people on no, there's nobody even on Google, Zoom, but my opinion, that's all.
Realistically, we have this meeting, we have the Tuesday morning, the morning meeting, and we could well be done this phase of the work. And going back, there were 12 people on the citizens who were interested in being on the committee. You 3 were chosen. I sent an email to the other 9 saying our first meeting is here if you'd like to come listen and hear what's going on and express your opinions. None of them showed up. So I don't know if there is a lot of community input. Jeff certainly had a lot of input the first night. So we may be agreeing to disagree over a moot point anyway. But yeah, would it be good to have the policy before it needs to come into play? Probably.
Should we invite this public opinion before we draft the advertisement? Or should we wait and do the advertisement and then invite public opinion?
I think we can do the ad first, because it really is vanilla. We're looking for somebody, they got to have X, we're going to pay you Y, and then the devil's in the details of the job description and the characteristics, I think. And then I think that has more value for the public to be concerned about. We want somebody who can, walk on water, part the Red Sea. We've already had one of those before, but maybe he'll come back. You never know.
Do it right.
You're right.
Okay, so we're talking probably a public invite to a meeting in September.
Sure. I mean, I'm not wedded to us making the August 28th deadline, quite frankly. I mean, with all due respect to everyone's lives, here we are again with 6 of the folks, and they still haven't even appointed an employee. I mean,
If we have to do it this way,
I agree with you, Herb, but I'm just pointing out the fact that life gets in the way of life, and if you can't commit, then step away.
Right.
The timing is difficult too. August is often vacation time
Yes,
for
it
employees,
is.
right?
So,
we're trying to
maybe
do
we
this at a time when a lot of people are taking their vacations, right, before school starts.
So maybe we slide into September, because, actually, maybe you are the only one in the room that is, maybe you, I don't know, kids in school.
I just have dogs.
Okay, well,
And a
so,
We don't have
husband.
kids in school
all
anymore.
right, but you know what I'm saying, we're more bound to
Thank
the
you for that.
I
fall.
was going to ask about the husband, but I noticed the dog came first.
Oh, then
I've
there's
known
a,
her longer.
yeah.
We're kind of jumping all over the place, Paul,
Yeah.
but what spaces are we missing for the committee? We're missing a town employee.
Town employee has not yet been appointed.
Okay.
A non-department head,
Non-department head.
And that's the same thing. A town employee, non-department head is one.
yes.
PJ has been appointed, but has been unavailable. And then the 2 other selectmen have been appointed, kind of. And
Jeff North indicated to me he thought he was the alternate and was expecting to fill in for you if need be, and I don't mean to point at you, but for Jim because of his schedule. My sense from him was he didn't consider himself the primary representative from the board.
I didn't consider myself that either, but
yeah,
somebody's
Bob's
got
your uncle, you're
somebody's
it.
got to do it, so here I am.
I mean, essentially, Jim and Keith have opposite schedules. So Jeff sliding into that spot makes sense if we were doing an interview and Keith has to be at work that night, or if Jim has to be at work during the day. But then it was never,
Right.
here's what it is, it was just the 3 of us will share the duties.
Well, that's why I figured if you guys want to do it in the mornings like this, August 21st is scheduled for 8 in the morning. I can be here, no problem.
Yeah.
Jim can't.
No, Jim can be.
Jim can
Oh,
be,
yeah.
they don't open till, well, he probably has to be in a little before, but the shop doesn't open till 10.
Yeah. He was 8 o'clock, great.
Oh.
Text at the last meeting.
Yeah.
What day is the 21st?
Monday?
Monday.
Tuesday?
Monday.
Monday?
I think Barry and Jim do a radio show on Tuesday morning, right?
Tuesday.
Yeah, I think it's Monday, because I think the 20th is Sunday.
Yeah, and, well, yeah, last time was the 14th, so it'll be the 20th.
Yeah. And as for right now, although it's not as convenient for Christy, when we get to September, 8 in the morning, she's hitting the ground running with her little cherubs up the hill.
Yeah.
As long as it's not the first couple weeks of school, I can do it. It's just gotta set that normalization.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much there is to do, but like, I mean, I have a vested interest in this happening sooner. The board's meeting on the 28th and then the third Monday in September.
You know, the
So-
problem is with so many people missing, I think Vinny said it well last time, like, they need their representatives here. So I know you want it done sooner rather than later, but I think we would be doing a disservice to just, trudge forward.
The chairman also asked at last night's meeting, and I think Paul responded that we were hoping to have the advertisement ready by the 28th, for their 28th meeting, correct?
That was the initial schedule that was discussed.
Okay.
We could probably agree on the ad by the 28th. I mean, we could probably get the ad whipped up tonight unless there's,
Shouldn't be that difficult.
I mean, it's not too, I've got maybe 4 corrections in it. I mean,
You
it's
can also
nothing.
go on, I went on the New Hampshire Municipal Association's website, go into
Yeah.
their classifieds, and they have 8 or 9 town manager positions listed. And you can see the different ways that the towns do their advertisements. I mean, some are 2 or 3 paragraphs, some are 2 or 3 pages. So, I mean, some get into detail, some list benefits, the price of the benefits package and the pay, and I think I'm going to move the Freeport, Maine, by the way, and file.
Yeah.
Freeport, oh, I
Oh,
bet.
yeah, they pay pretty good.
What was
What-
the name of that site?
New Hampshire
Municipal Association. We belong.
Yeah, but you don't have, you can go in just at their homepage and the classified section,
It's-
you can go right in, yeah.
Is open, yeah.
And I mean, there's, I believe it's Plymouth has got an opening, Freeport, Maine, Norway, Maine, Heartland, Hartford, Westminster, Vermont,
Norwich.
Raymond, New Hampshire's, yeah. And 2 or 3 of them are very close to our budget.
Demographics?
Yeah, our budget and town population. And some are smaller, some are larger. It just gives an idea of where we can go with, and it looks like the sky's the limit, really. I mean, we can put in as much detail or as little detail as we would like. And I suppose you can always reference the town website. and things
Exactly,
as far
well,
as- yeah. Limited.
we could. There was some statement that the town website would have a visioning for the position, and I don't think that's there,
It's out there now.
no. But if they're not going to approve the ad till the 28th, it's quite possible that that next step of updating the town website would happen. I mean, if the board would appropriate 10 grand or whatever, I have no idea, to hire somebody for the next 3 months to update the website so that we can get information like this and that's accurate, and then maybe continue to do it. I mean, no dissing Joanne, but she's, buried this far underwater.
I'd like to put it out there for volunteer first.
You get what you pay for, or
You can also find some diamonds in the rough.
you can.
By
You
August
don't-
28th?
Oh, by trying.
Like-
That's the problem. It's the time frame is kind of squeezing us, but
See, really, if we don't do it for the meeting on the 28th, our next shot is September 18th, which then gets us advertised in the last 2 weeks of September, on the first 2 weeks of October, with resume review starting coming around October 1st. I mean, or when we set the first Friday in October as the deadline.
So
We're
why
also-
don't you, Christy, can you open up the municipal association?
Got it.
All right, so pick a town and see what they're saying about application timeline. I mean, that might be, give us a barometer.
This is, all right, so this one was
Did
posted.
you print them?
I did.
Posted on.
I didn't copy them.
That's all right, sorry.
I only have one copy of each, but
That's okay, go ahead,
So
Christy.
posted, this one was posted on August 15th with a due date of October 16th, so it's a month.
Sure.
2 months.
2 months, yeah.
would
August,
you like to see it?
September.
Sure.
Which town was that?
This is Canaan.
Okay.
I didn't print them. I mean, there were 2 or 3 that I didn't print. But I just wanted to get a representative sample.
Yeah. Well, and this one, Raymond is right to the point. I don't know when it was posted. Can you find Raymond, honey?
I'll try.
It might be on this. I don't know. Some of them.
Boy, this is, we can almost cross off the word Raymond and put Newport.
Yeah.
Some of them are very close.
I got in trouble in school for doing that.
Plagiarism?
Oh, this will be easy.
Chat GPT.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's also super fun.
It's fun. It's really fun. I was
So,
playing with
I
it.
don't
My
know, Paul, if
accountant
you've-
uses it to
I don't
write
know if
letters
you've
to
seen
the
it,
feds.
But
Write a
Freeport
letter
was,
to-
Uses what?
salary was 130,
Chat
160.
or an AI
With a
group.
benefits package of
Yeah.
56,000.
Alright, I'm looking for
Plus
Raymond. There's no rhyme or reason.
vacation
so
time.
I'm gonna go.
Other
No.
stuff.
I'm waiting
Yeah,
for the
I
papers.
I was actually born in Freeport.
It's scary. That's a
Let's
lean
do
territory.
that.
Alright, what town in Westminster, Vermont?
It's a nice
is
little
that?
town.
Oh. Let me see what they're doing. Westminster posted August
Or
3rd,
it
same
seems like a
thing,
nice
2
town.
months,
I know
October
It is
3rd.
very
Okay.
busy.
Is it?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
These are like apples to apples, so these are town manager
Yeah.
positions.
Well, Plymouth, I don't know when they were posted, but they want September 14th, so they must have done theirs. So we're saying 2 months, so
And the other part of it, the sooner the better, we're in competition.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yes, we are.
But they're each only hiring one.
Yeah. So it's about the same time frame that people are dumping their resumes. Now, where are they going to dump them, Paul?
They're going to send them to us
Direct.
direct
Okay.
Through email.
through email or mail.
Yeah.
We used somebody, we used a company.
We used a company
Right,
before.
previously.
Yeah. They did some screening. So, back in the day when there were a lot of 47 resumes, they did a lot of culling.
Mm.
I don't think that's going to be the case because these positions are hard to fill.
Every position is hard to
Yeah.
fill. There's a lot of
Yeah.
fire,
Oh, I took this from you. too,
fire
sorry.
chief
Yeah.
on the classified, the municipal classified, fire chiefs, highway departments, everybody's looking for it.
So-
I mean, one of the other side of it though is most people looking for these jobs, resumes. Just
Sorry?
need to update the resumes, right?
Right.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
They just need to update
Right.
current to, I left there 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Or I mean, unless it's somebody who's in their first, even in their first job, they had a resume to get the first job, they just need to update it.
Yes.
So 2 months, I think 2 months is crazy.
Oh, for a timeline?
For time, I think a month is more than adequate for time out.
So let's walk it back then. Let's suppose we want all of the applicants by October 1st. So by September 1st, we'd have to have enough information, including the job description, the community profile, the website updated, and that's not realistic. So I think we need to look at like October 15th or, I mean, it depends on if you realistically think, and I guess I put Keith's selectman's hat on, that the selectman will allow you, or if you can squeak out of your budget, some money to hire somebody specifically to update the website for this purpose. I mean, it makes us look a little less professional to try and attract somebody when our website isn't exactly great. And I'm not a website person in that regard, but I know today's people looking for jobs look at that, right? I mean,
Yes, it's the first place they go.
right, you're the HR queen here, so you know that that's got to be
It's your
sufficient.
brand. It's who you are.
Right,
Yeah.
and if we look like 10 cents waiting for change, so I'm fine for stalling. I'm sorry for you, because your life is really hard, and I mean that sincerely. But, so if you want, we can knock out the ad tonight,
Yeah.
at least start with that.
At least get that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
The Keenan one is one paragraph, a good sized paragraph, and you don't want it too long.
No,
And you don't want it too wordy, so you want the highlights in there.
yeah,
So they do include the population, which is in our draft, right?
yeah,
Says where they're located halfway between Boston and Montreal,
yeah,
right? Talks a little bit about natural beauty and the acreage and proximity to Dartmouth Medical Hitchcock and Dartmouth College. But then it also says governed by a 3-member select board. The town administrator is responsible for overseeing the full array of services provided by 24 full-time employees. So it's listing your job duties succinctly.
yeah.
And an operating budget of $5.2 million. And then they state the education, so bachelor's degree in public admin or related field, and 5 or more years of progressively responsible. That language looks familiar.
Yeah, it does.
Experience in municipal management preferred or equivalent combination. That's exactly the same. And then it says salary range to 80,000. Starting salary commensurate with qualifications and experience. And then you have to put the equal opportunity employer piece in there.
Yeah,
And then the next line is they can visit the website to apply. This is how you do it. And then resumes reviewed as received. That's it. So we can just change that.
we can pull some of those out of that. Absolutely. When it says visit the website to apply, does that mean there's a...
No, it's just for further information. Potential candidates are directed to Municipal Resources Inc. website at da-da-da, or to contact Municipal Resources, and then there's a phone number.
Okay, so they're using a company.
Yep. But it does, and it says to apply, submit your resume, cover letter in confidence as a PDF attachment to recruitment at that organization.
Yeah. So we can capture that language, and the difference would be HR at newportnh.org or net, whoever we are.
Who's on the, are you in the document that we have?
I am.
Do you want, I don't know if I could do both on this little screen. I can try.
Okay.
Well, what you read is
Almost exactly.
almost
Yeah.
exactly.
Almost.
Similar.
Okay.
So I'll go first. One of the things I said is we would adjust the number, but I think we've agreed 6,500 is a reasonable number. Approximate, we could say, or population approximate
That's
6,500.
exactly what this says. It says the name of the town, and then in parentheses, 3,800 approximate population.
Okay, I'll type in approximate.
And they just abbreviated.
Approximately.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of cool.
All right, and then I added, it says the town of Newport, an attractive rural New England town. I added in the Sugar River region.
You have Sugar Regional.
I know, I forgot river. Good catch, Herb.
And you actually want to take the Lee off of approximate.
Approximately?
It just says approximate.
Approximate population?
Yeah.
Okay. In the Sugar River region, located in the scenic Connecticut River Valley of western New Hampshire. Seeks an experienced, hands-on town manager.
Do you want to
ahead.
say more about, like, it's a short drive to, do we want to put any of that in there?
Midway between the Keene and
They've got a
Lebanon
whole,
regions.
it's a short drive to the city of Lebanon, the regional businesses, tech and engineering center, all the cultural, medical, and educational assets of Dartmouth Hitchcock.
I would
Well, midway between the Keene and Lebanon regions, 10 miles from the Vermont border.
hold that thought. I would cut and paste and dump that in and then add
Okay.
midway between Lebanon and Keene. And we can easily, in the scenic Connecticut River Valley, is seeking an after experienced hands-on town manager. We could say Newport is a community, what she said and what you said, or
Okay, so I'm putting that in our document. I'm
Yeah.
putting that after the Sugar River region part.
no, after hands-on town manager.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, no. Could be.
Yeah, Newport is.
Okay, I just
Blah,
popped it
blah,
in there.
blah. Yeah, and then what, add the Keene Lebanon corridor, or however Herb put it, was a good ad.
Or
Because-
I'll say it again because I didn't. I just
Alright.
focused.
So can
you
you say it again, Herb?
Midway between Lebanon and Keene regions, and 10 miles from the Vermont border.
So we have a problem with Lebanon up above here.
Well, we can take it out.
I also got Canaan up there too.
Take out line. Easy, fellas.
You can only type so fast.
Okay. I'm probably in the wrong spot.
When you get done making your changes in this, does it automatically
Go to all of us,
go through spelling and punctuation and stuff, or?
sometimes.
No, because we need space between approximate population.
Well, yeah, we can do that when we,
Um,
so I did this, it says 12,000 acres. That's not us.
That's not us.
We need to take that out.
All right, Newport is versus the National Grid. We can just take that whole thing out. Do you want me to take out, it's a short drive to the city of Lebanon, too? 'Cause
Where are we? Somewhere in the 200 acre range?
can you see where you are?
I can
Yeah.
see where you
I'm
are.
not
I
sure
would-
where you are.
I would delete that. Can you just highlight and delete it? Or do you just
If I just backspace, it's gone.
Yeah.
Why did they say that? Newport is versus-
Oh, because it was saying how rural it was, but yet we're close to a city.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. There we go.
I think I might say with just a short drive to the Regional Business Tech and Engineering Center, because we're going to do halfway between Lebanon and Keene later,
So if just take out.
the city of Lebanon.
Yep. Okay.
You may have to wordsmith it a little, Christie, for English reading. You know what I mean?
That's an okay
You could,
sentence.
in theory, just a short drive to the regional business tech and engineering centers, and all
Whether-
culture medical of Lebanon and Keene, of Lebanon and Keene regions. And Keene's a fun,
Regional
great city,
centers
fun city.
and the cultural, medical, and educational assets of,
Lebanon and Keene regions.
and not mention Dartmouth Hitchcock and Dartmouth College.
And Dartmouth Hitchcock is all from Keene.
That's
Keene.
true.
So
The
of
college
the
isn't,
Lebanon, sorry, one more time, of the Lebanon and Keene, what did you say?
Regions,
but regions.
And then just take out that.
yeah.
Got it.
Because there's a college in Keene and a college in Lebanon and a college in Claremont.
Well, now we've mentioned that twice, see, right back to back. Educational assets of Lebanon and Keene regions, period, then Newport is midway between Lebanon and Keene regions. We can take that.
Well, we could take that and just add in 10 miles from the Vermont border.
Yeah.
Regions, comma, and 10 miles from the Vermont
Okay,
border.
gotcha.
Okay?
Newport is, and then it jumps into another sentence.
Yeah, so take that out. Oh, why is mine not backspacing? Oh, because I'm in
Yours
the
fell
wrong,
over.
because my stylus is in the wrong place. All right, so you're going to take out Newport is midway between Lebanon and Keene.
Seems a little cumbersome. I mean, we're starting off each line with Newport is, Newport, the town of Newport, Newport is, Newport is.
Okay,
It just,
Well, we can just say immersed in the natural beauty now.
mm,
Up here, we can words with this one.
Property's covered immersed, it's not bad.
yeah, immersed in the
Immersed in
natural.
beauty.
goes good.
Good, and then the common Newport is 10 miles from the Vermont border. Then there's only 2 Newports in that paragraph. Right? Okay, so we need to get rid of Newport is midway between Lebanon and Keene.
You want me to check it out?
Yep,
Yeah.
Leave in the 10 miles from the Vermont border.
yep,
Yeah.
because you're going to put a comma after regions
Actually-
up above.
Leave the and in for just a minute.
Okay. Oops.
And 10 miles from Vermont.
Okay,
Immersed in natural beauty and the opportunities provided by lakes, trails, and mountains, with just a short drive for regional business, tech, and engineering centers, and all the cultural, medical, and educational assets of the Lebanon and Keene regions, and 10 miles from the Vermont border.
I know we don't want to say Newport is, but we need it. That's a really long. We should take out the and in the comma and say Newport is 10 miles from the Vermont border.
okay. Yeah, because it's a kind of a
It's a
run-on
lot.
sentence, yeah.
Okay, so now a question, do we want to add 10 minutes to Vermont border, 2 hours to Boston,
Oh, good idea.
an hour to Concord? Do we want that
Mm.
kind of stuff in there or no?
I think we can do that in the
The
profile.
profile.
When we talk about the profile, we can pump it up that way. I think this is a teaser,
Yep, okay.
and then the profile will say, and situated between 89 and 91, and 2 hours to Montreal, Boston, 4 to New York City, blah blah blah,
Yeah, okay.
and a train, and a bus, and
And the website has details. It might not be like the most updated thing, but there
But it will be.
could
It
get a
will
good
be.
sense from that
Okay.
too.
and then the ideal candidate should be willing to make a long-term commitment to the town. Residency is desired.
I did consult with our school attorney, and we can require that they live in Newport. My opinion is we don't require that of anyone else. We word it in contracts as they have to be able to get here within 20 minutes or something. So I think just for the purpose of consistency, if we're going to put that component in, it needs to match what we're asking the other folks to do in their jobs.
But I thought the town attorney
Town
said
attorney
we could
That you
not.
can't.
There's
So-
legal opinion, court rulings.
Supreme
That's,
Court.
Yeah.
Might as well allow it.
I think we can say residency is desired, and I think in the more detail, we can say, well, I did add something in that said close proximity expected or something, but we could even make that tighter. And the only thing I added in the next sentence, I don't understand what progressively responsible is.
That was also in...
Somebody else's you read.
Yeah, that was
I
in...
almost said somebody stole ours.
I think so.
It might have.
I
It
was
might be
looking.
these people. The town of Canaan has the exact same
Yeah.
line.
And I don't know if Barry Brenner was working for MRI.
Oh, could be. Do we want to say progressively responsible? What does that mean?
I think that's odd wording.
I think
Is it
so.
jargon though for the job? Like, does that mean something to town managers?
No, I mean progressively is just, you came up through the ranks, you were an assistant, now you're the manager. Or,
forward thinking,
um,
aggressive type.
Yeah.
You know,
It's jargon, there's no question it's jargon.
yeah. I mean, in some instances, there may be communities that are quite happy and they just want somebody to come in and keep the clocks
Status
wound.
quo.
Right. I would take it out, but I'm not wedded to it one way or the other.
We have a lot of those citizens that would love somebody just to come in and wind the clocks and
I know.
keep their head down.
You know, we can leave it and the BOS can take it out, or unless you guys have a strong opinion about it.
Can I just go back to that first paragraph? Are we okay with the way that is now, and I'll just make it all the same font and same size?
I'm okay with it. Yeah, as long as you got the commas in the right place, I'm good. Do you know what's the font we ought to use? Christy or Melanie, what? You have a-
I use whatever looks good. I
Okay.
usually go like Arial or.
Century Gothic or Times New Roman are the ones that, like, MLA, if you're submitting
Yeah.
paper.
Okay,
Right.
then fine. Okay, we good?
So,
All right, the only other thing I added, and that was the discussion we had, a bachelor's degree in public administration or related field with 5 years of progressively responsible municipal management experience, and I added, or 5 years of any equivalent combination of education and experience is required. I think we ought to have somebody who's had at least a minimum of 5 years of management at something. They could have managed.
that seemed to be a recurring theme amongst the other
Yeah,
advertisements as well.
and I mean, we could do more years, but at a minimum, I think we should do 5.
I agree.
Okay. And then there was nothing else in there that I had any question about. The last sentence says, proven economic development experience is desired.
Yeah.
In the characteristics, it speaks of economic development. So do we need it in this?
I don't know.
I mean, wouldn't it be implied, Paul?
I think so. I don't know that it's really necessary.
All right, can you, okay, it's out. Perfect.
How about experience with grant funding? and-
That's in the characteristics,
Okay.
yeah. And then the next one is the budget number has to change.
The number of full-time employees needs to change.
Yep. So what do we know?
So do we want it to say
I
that
can
what's
get that.
there?
I
in red?
can't get it from here, but.
Sorry,
I
what'd
will
you
get
say,
the-
honey?
Do you want it to say, somebody's put it in
I was
red,
thinking
do we
last-
want, is
Oh.
that
Last
accurate?
year's budget was
No, I put in
10.4
red
10.2
update.
or 10.4.
At the end. I
Oh, so-
highlighted
I
it.
gotcha, okay.
Yeah,
So
I
that's not
highlighted
accurate.
it to make sure we'll update it.
Yep.
And the salary I highlighted because I don't know what the salaries are, and it's a qualifications with a competitive benefit package.
Yeah.
And that's where we
Is that set by the select board?
correct. And that was one where we thought we might be able to play with a little money if the person lived in town.
In town, or yes.
Okay.
Make some of that an incentive to be a citizen.
Okay.
I think we should list some of the good benefits in town. I know we can't list everything because it's based upon like negotiation of your final contract. But maybe like generally what's offered.
Go.
Would we want that?
Like what?
in
Like health insurance,
Okay.
dental, like the things that are offered to normal.
So
including-
benefits package including,
Yeah, I think it,
But not limited to,
but not limited to.
okay,
to
health,
Health, dental,
Yep.
life, disability,
life and
Retirement.
disability.
retirement.
Vacation pay.
There's a
Paid
tuition
time off, paid time
I
reimbursement.
think that paid time off is the category because it's death, vacation, birth.
I think it says vacation in the book, in the
It does.
policy book.
It does. So.
The
so
policy
it's-
book may be wrong.
Yeah, it's not, it's small paid time off versus capital
Oh,
paid time, is the way I would list it is.
okay.
So it's
Yeah.
not a paid time off policy,
Yeah,
it's paid time off via vacation sick.
with the
leave.
categories
Yeah,
of each
first of
type.
all.
Yeah.
Is that 85 to 110 accurate?
No, that's why it's in red.
So we're not going to be able to finish it tonight.
Well, you're going to have to put the,
I'm gonna have to update
The
the
numbers in.
budget and the employees, and then the salary would be up.
So leave those things red.
Yep.
yeah. I know, honey. It's okay. I know, it's all right. And then in the next one was that thing about visioning for the position. We're not going to have a visioning.
Sounds so.
I would take that right out, but we can certainly say, please see the town website for information, for more information on the community.
The way they worded it and the one we were looking at, for further information, potential candidates are directed to.
Perfect, perfect. Did you drop that in?
I will.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna plop it in there and then we can take out.
Yep,
Okay.
we can take out that whole section.
So take out the please see the.
Yep, take out that whole
But we
section.
do want them to go to the website, right? www.
Yeah, nh.net.
But then we can take that out.
Yeah.
.gov.
.gov.
Oh,
Good catch.
I don't know if I'm gonna get anybody.
Oh, it didn't make it blue. No.
that's all right. I know. We got for further information, potential candidates are directed to www.newportnh.gov.
I think I can change it. There, I got it.
Okay, and then what else did it say, honey?
It said. Oh, it also listed the phone number.
Do we want people to call?
No, if they're really intent on that, they'll go to the website and find a number.
So
Okay.
can we take out the whole vision?
Yep, that, absolutely.
And then we're taking out
Taking out all that whole banner thing. And then the only other thing I added is in what of the ad, we already did that, so that's okay. But are we putting in a start date?
Hold on. Do you want to put in there to apply, submit the cover letter, resume?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Confidence.
directions on how to apply.
All right. So I'm gonna put this whole line in there, but then we're gonna change it to what ours is.
Seems
So
like
what
you'd
everything
have
is.
to have a resume due date by.
Yes, yes.
So applicants should submit.
October
I don't know
1st.
where I am on that.
No, I wouldn't give enough time then if we're going to get it out there.
Go
in the
up to
middle of
format
September.
and hit,
Got it.
October
you got it?
31st.
Okay.
Maybe. Well, it depends on what time we get the advertisement out. Yeah, it looks like we're going to hit our August 28th deadline.
Are we driving it to whose email is gonna get all these?
Can it go to our new one?
What's your
Newport NH reports
That drops it into this, though, doesn't it?
So that drops into the Google.
and,
Google Doc.
but we're the only people who can see it.
Right.
It's
Well,
locked.
unless you get hacked.
Well, anybody could get that.
Yeah.
All
That
right,
would
tell-
be fine.
what is it? So Newport.
Newport NH reports with an S, I believe, at Gmail.
Actually, that goes to Joanne first, right? Does Joanne have to distribute it to us, or as far as the
Well,
search committee?
that's where I don't know.
Yeah, so it wouldn't automatically drop into the shared drive from here.
Right.
So she would just.
She's the
Come
admin
to
of that.
her,
And would
yes.
have to. What
Right.
you want? You want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we also, is this where we would put end references? Or no? Is it assumed that in the resume, on my resume it says references provided upon request? So is that sufficient?
I think generally you call references after you've interviewed somebody,
Right,
so normally you ask for
It
that
used
at
to
the
be
interview.
listed them on your resume, and
Yeah.
now you don't.
all right.
Right.
So resume is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. References was the other thing I was thinking to apply to cover letter and confidence as a PDF attachment to newportreports@gmail.com. And that comes out. And then the OEO. Oh, I know what it was. You said it, Herb. By, application should be received by,
Mhm.
and then the date.
X
Are we shooting for our submission to the select board August 28th, as far as this advertisement goes?
Yeah, I think so.
If we can hit that date in October
Well,
15th, October 31st, something like that, for a due date?
31st would be too, I would be too far out.
how about October 15th?
Yeah, at least I'm more comfortable with the month, but.
I know you are. But remember,
Not-
this is, we haven't got the rest of the documentation that's going to be available, and we don't know that we're actually going to get the website updated.
Right, so whenever, I'm thinking a month from when the advertisement goes someplace.
Oh, all right, good call. So when the board decides to float it out there, then put out a
A
month.
month.
Yes.
Okay, maybe Christie in red, you could
We
say
would need to say close date.
closing date
Yeah.
and then leave it blank.
I think when you go to upload this into that, it's going to ask you that. We can put it in this document, but the way it's listed here, it looks like it's part of their autofill.
For NHMA.
Right.
Yes, and I don't know what ICMA is going to have, but when we go to the Eagle, the Valley, the Globe, the Union Leader, it's going to be typed, so. Yeah.
Okay.
Application deadline of.
Does, once
I'm
the
just
select
bringing it.
board looks at it, approves it, does it go through legal before it goes out?
Not usually.
You can, but that's not the way to word it.
All right. What are we missing, Miss?
My biggest thing was listing benefits.
Oh, yeah.
The most we could, just to
We
spice
did.
it up a little bit, set us.
Health, dental, life, retirement, paid time off.
Do we need the line resumes reviewed as received? Is that a legal question? And then qualified candidates will be invited to participate in a what kind of interview? This says phone interview.
Oh yeah, how's the screening process work?
So,
Well, let's think about that. Would Joanne send us the resumes as they come in?
I would think so.
So then that would be true. Resumes will be reviewed as received, or whatever you just said.
Yep.
And the interview process to be determined. Qualified candidates.
Do we have to limit ourselves? Because you might get somebody from Ohio.
No,
Right.
I was
Zoom
going to be,
them in.
initial interviews will be conducted either in person or by.
'Cause we can just-
Electronically?
or
Qualified
electronically
candidates will be
via Zoom.
invited to participate in interviews. Just
Period.
Very well.
Qualified candidates will be invited to participate in an interview. Or
Leave
in
it generic
interviews.
till we decide.
Right.
Yeah. All right, go on, you're thinking something.
No, I was just going to by either in person or by via Zoom. So you
Okay.
don't get somebody from Ohio saying, well, I'm not going there.
Right.
Right.
So just knowing that there's the possibility of a Zoom interview
Sure.
to get in the mix.
And we did a telephone interview in Michigan, so.
We could say in person or virtual, and not tied to Zoom.
Yeah, in person or virtual, good.
I forget what platform we used for.
It doesn't like virtual. It wants it to say virtually, but it doesn't understand the technology.
I know.
Google should
was
know
pre
that.
was pre-Zoom. I forget what we used, but it was sometimes it was wavy, sometimes it was.
Oh my God, it wasn't Skype.
It might have been Skype.
Might have been
It
Skype,
might have
'cause
been
that's
Skype in
pretty
15,
old.
2015.
The
Yeah.
original Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want the line, the town of Newport is an equal opportunity employer, up after the paid time off? Just put it in there? Or do you
No,
want
I
it, do
think
you want it
it's
separated out?
It's a
like
little
that?
tiny
tiny
usually
thing
put it
at the
at the
bottom.
Okay.
It's a requirement.
Yeah.
Maybe this isn't the place, but where do we say finalists will be invited to come to Newport? You know what I'm saying? When does that
In the
happen?
interview.
In the interview.
In the interview.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
our next process is we're going to recommend 3 to 5 to the board of
And
selectmen.
then they'll be
who will
invited.
conduct further interviews or who will conduct further interviews.
Yeah, because actually they're going to do it.
Right.
And they'll put them up and find people to take them to dinner and all that. Okay. All right, what are we missing, kids? You think that's sufficient if you were looking for a job? Would you think that would be enough info?
Short and succinct.
I think so, because somebody who's in that field of work kind of knows what they're looking for.
Okay. Anything else in your papers that you downloaded, Herb?
We said in the job description that we wanted them to have experience working with unions. Is that something you don't want to put in here? You want to leave that separate?
That can be in the characteristics.
Many of these had that in there, collective bargaining experience.
That's a good way to word it.
Yeah, I mean, if you were going to do it, you could budget of 10 million, 10.4 million, and 56 full-time employees with 2 bargaining units.
So you want 10.4 million?
No, he's just making it up.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was ready, Paul.
No, I heard 10.4, and I'm sorry, I don't remember it at all.
So after
10.2
full-time
or
employees,
10.4?
Christie put a comma, and 2 unions, is that
Bargaining
bargaining.
units.
and 2 bargaining
Are they
units?
called collective bargaining units?
Collective bargaining.
Collective bargaining units.
It's not nice. We hope they unite.
Okay. You can take out update, honey. Oh, when I'll leave,
No, 'cause
because
he's
they
got-
gotta do it, okay.
I know, I was trying.
I know.
You'll see a town profile too, correct?
Oh, we're
Yeah.
still working on that, I mean,
Because it does have the employee stuff too. Which
yes.
is good. It
Yeah.
also reinforces it there.
This built-in redundancy, but the profile's more,
Right.
yeah.
More of the
Yeah.
analytical stuff.
We good?
Good as the facts go, yeah.
I think so.
Okay. All right, so your takeaway is that you're going to put the numbers in, submit it to the board for the
28th meeting.
28th meeting, because that's the next meeting.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, on the 21st, we'll work on the next document.
The job description.
Yeah, finalize the job description.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
we have a little leeway time here if we notice something that we've done tonight that we didn't think of tomorrow, or
Right.
something that we don't like, we can always adjust.
Okay.
If
Um,
you do that though, when you go back into this,
Mhm.
you need to make it a different color so it stands out.
Yeah, make it a blue or a green or something.
Not red.
Yeah, not red.
Those are Paul's. Paul's seeing red.
Paul's red. And we can, I guess it falls to you, because the board's not meeting till the 28th, to see if we can get somebody in place to update the website, so that we can actually say,
Yeah.
I mean, you could make a point to the board that we can't have people going to newportnh.gov, it's just nothing there.
Mallory, does the chamber have anybody that's good with IT type?
I don't
No.
think that would work out.
So you do have. There is a community member who is interested in being on the committee who also could be a school liaison who would be able to handle the website. I don't want to speak to
Has
that
the
person.
skill set, but I don't know if has the time.
Right.
There is a firm in Sunapee that I have used. The woman's name is Abby Peel. She's a professional website person and sets them up and could possibly take on the management of the website. And I think it's Peel Associates, but if you typed in Abby Peel. And that is the other question I had in my diatribe that I sent to you all, that there is no liaison to the school district on this committee. Do we need one?
Good question.
Did the board set an amount of people they wanted on?
No, we actually went with essentially what the same committee was the last time. I think we increased the selectmen to 2 and maybe decreased the community members by 1.
2 times ago had 16 people on it.
Yeah.
That long list.
Oh, from the visioning?
The participants.
But they all did.
Participants, but that was
But they
that was
all
the committee
didn't.
plus.
They were not
They were not on the
all
committee.
I got you.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we
Yeah.
talking someone from the school board, or are we talking someone from the school population?
I would think from the school administration, I would think. Because they would have a better understanding of what kind of a relationship town and gown ought to have.
That's a very good question.
Well, we throw that back to you, Mr. Town Manager.
I would say, right now the committee is set. I think between the two of us, we have a pretty good understanding of town and gown. And we have another gown side. So there isn't specific representation, but I think there's certainly familiarity
With it?
with the systems and the needs.
Okay. But we do need an employee, though. That,
And that's good. That's
I mean, you could probably just anoint somebody in your capacity as manager and go, you're it.
Voluntold.
And like,
Yeah, voluntold.
yes.
Yeah.
And there are two other interested. I just need to sit down with the two of them.
Okay. Anything else?
Did we want to appoint a chair and a co-chair, to Herb's point?
Probably.
I mean, it just seemed like, to me, that it would be the best thing as far as organizational attempts. If something goes south and we end up head-to-head here, at least we'll have somebody that can referee.
Okay.
As long as it's not the chairman, it's head-to-head with somebody. But that's where the co-chair comes in. So.
Okay.
Sounds like Herb's volunteering. I don't know.
Probably not.
Well, I'm certainly willing to do it, obviously, because I'm so mouthy, but...
I nominate Goody Irwin to be the chair
I
of the
second.
committee.
I think actually that would be because she has the experience of doing this before. So
Okay.
I like experience. So. Are we ready for a vote?
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Okay.
Abstentions?
Paul was very quiet.
No, Paul's
it-
writing.
would it-
Who seconded that?
Keith.
Would it make sense to have the vice chair be one of the board members
I think.
or not?
I don't think so myself. The board already has input here, and they're also going to have the final input on the choices. So I think that may be. I don't see a necessary need to have them on as far as an overseer of this board.
Well, and they'll float a little more than the rest of us. Do you know what I mean?
I nominate Christy as co-chair.
I'd rather not do it.
How would you like to get your feet wet, Mrs.
I'm happy to
Government?
type.
What do you think?
As I stated a minute ago, I kind of like experience, and we have a gentleman who has ancient.
H.
Yes.
Paul's wearing so many hats right now.
They're very-
Putting it on Paul is not fair.
Yeah.
Well, Paul's here anyway.
I
so
mean,
it's-
everything's going to flow through my office.
Yeah.
Right,
It's gonna
anyway.
see it all.
So that would be fine. We can do
So you two want to flip a coin? Herb and Mallory, see who gets it?
This is my first experience with this, so I mean, I'm happy observing and putting in my input. I'm going to co-chairing.
You get to sit at the co-chair
kind of
table here.
I told you, invited to the big kids
Trying to
table. Well, in the absence of anybody else, I will nominate Herb as the co-chair. And we live in the same hood, so we can travel
This
together.
is true, yes.
I'll second it, Paul.
We are bros.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll
Abstain? One abstention.
Abstain.
Okay. So our takeaway for tonight is we've done the ad. On the 21st, but between now and then, put your input in for the job description and also the community profile, which we haven't uploaded the two school ones yet. Did you send those to
I
Joanne?
sent them to her the
Okay.
next day, but I can resend them if they got lost.
that. Yeah, I thought I saw them come through. Maybe I only saw them scanned.
I
We don't
think-
have those electronic, do we?
I scanned them to her, so they were electronic.
Oh, we don't
But
have
to be
them
able to
We
edit
don't have them in
that, I don't have that.
No, we don't.
I think the group had that.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, yeah, we don't. That's too bad. Is there any way to save them as a different kind of file?
Yeah, and I can cut, we can cut, there's not a lot in them that we wanted to take, so it's not, once we pick what we want, I can just.
We
type
can
it
cut
in.
and paste it.
Cut and paste
Or I can type it in.
or we could try scanning it as an OCR too. But
Okay.
Because that's how I got into her.
Under the community profile, just quickly touch on that.
Yeah.
What we have currently is very straightforward and generic, should I say. I put a note at the end that it was, that it's factual but very sterile.
You did.
It just seemed like it's an easier read and probably more interesting for someone who doesn't know the area or the town, if it's more flowing and put into a readable format.
yeah, I can say, I don't know if I'd be able to find it again. I was looking at a job in the Aleutian Islands.
Oh, that must have been a nice profile.
Job, but it was written as a booklet.
Yes,
Oh,
I've
nice.
seen
It
something like
wasn't,
that.
it wasn't a bullet point, it wasn't list, it was
Yeah.
written as a booklet.
With pictures and,
With pictures
yeah,
and-
I've seen that same thing.
And we could easily do that. I mean,
Yeah.
I added the amenities. The oldest winter carnival. We have a career
Yeah.
center. Our library, the Sarah Hale information, the Opera House. You know, we have a lot of amenities that we would want to highlight, and we could put pictures in.
If you really wanted, I'm comfortable doing something like that. I've
Done.
done things like that before. I just need the details.
Done.
And I can put the pictures in.
I like that.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
And we have the new mural.
Yeah, all kinds of great stuff to advertise.
Yeah. And I
Actually,
took
does
a
the chamber have like a welcome to Newport?
I don't know, do we pull?
They used
no.
Didn't they
Not
used to
yet.
have a packet or something that they gave?
They
to-
did. We had a fold out, like a 3-fold.
Oh,
And actually, if you wanted to make an appointment with Larry Cody, he could meet you at the Historic Society and show you the stuff that we have had in the past
okay.
as a Hi Hawaii to Newport. We used to have Welcome Wagon,
Okay.
Pamela Fountain too. is Larry's
and Pam
mom.
LaFountain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know Pam?
No.
Okay. But she could meet
She
you.
did.
If you call Larry, he can set it up.
Later.
And, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, now we have, which is the other thing we could put in here, we have the bus tour. I don't know if
Oh, the
you've done
historic-
it.
Yeah, magical.
The Magical Mystery Tour of Newport.
We did it, it was great.
Wasn't it great? So now we need a grant for a bus, by the way. If anyone's out there looking, listening, we need a grant for a bus. All right, good. So you'll take that.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
give you input and you'll take that. Are we good with that?
Yeah.
Fabulous.
I think the chamber, I think Shannon has a lot of those pictures already.
I'm sure she
If not, the
does.
Library Arts Center certainly has the murals.
The
If you
mural.
look at their website, you can pull stuff from
Yeah,
there.
and Fran
Facebook.
Hewitt at the Art Center, you know Fran, it would be more than willing to give you the PDFs or whatever.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
We already have so much great stuff. It's just putting it right in.
So
Yeah.
we probably would want to do that in electronic form so it can be downloaded to the
Oh, yeah.
town website.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I don't think I know how to do it non-electronically.
There's a lot of stapling and folding.
What is this thing called, paper?
I mean, I love paper, but I don't think you want to see that version. But yes.
All right, anything else for the good of the order, or we can say we're done?
Mhm.
Everyone has their assignment? Perfect.
Well, I'm not, what do you mean assignment?
Well, you skated through. You got to write down your password somewhere so you can find them.
Yeah.
That's your assignment.
Give it a day or two, then go back in and read,
Yeah.
read
Also,
our
I gotta-
advertisement.
I gotta get this thing to work right because all the changes you made didn't come up because it says I'm not activated and it said be careful doing that. So when it says be careful, the first thing it says, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm not touching
Fingers
it.
off the keyboard.
It just says be careful.
Well, some foreign stuff was introduced. So.
Oh.
Did you vote for yourself? Did you abstain?
I voted for myself.